legendary Chubby Checker. And
Andrew, how are you?
And we're so excited to have Chubby Checker on the radio with us right now. Good morning, Chubby.
Andrew, how are you?
This is Bill. And
Bill.
yeah.
Oh, I'm going to get it right. Sorry.
You'll be all right. Listen, we're just twisting it around here a little bit.
How about that? Thank you.
So I was first of all, we're excited to have you coming, and I want to go over some of the numbers on your song and your music, and I want to say your song, but there were many versions of the twist, right? How many different versions of the twist were there at the end of the day?
Well, we sang so many different ones of them, and the twist. It came out in different years. In 1960, they came out twice and was number one twice, and then we did it once with the Fat Boys.
Right, that was huge.
In '88, and we had some success with it. It was their idea, not mine, because they said, "Hey, Chubby, we want to do the twist." I said, "Well, go right ahead." He said, "No, we're going to do the rap, and we want you to sing." I said, "Oh, okay."
That's cool.
And that worked well. And then we did something in the '80s of the twist, and it's just a very exciting song, and it's the way we dance. It's like the way we turn on the light bulb or the way you pick up the phone. The twist is just like that, and it's that kind of success with people out there. They're familiar with it. They know it. It's the way we dance on the dance floor. That style that the twist gave us on the dance floor. Every dance celebrates its existence because of the twist.
So you were you appeared on the American Bandstand, was it?
American Bandstand. Yeah. That was history.
And that song and that time where you danced and you did the twist changed the world.
Changed
really
everything.
Did. Yeah.
Changed everything. In 2 minutes and 42 seconds, the dance floor was transformed into what it is right now.
So how did you come up with how did you come up with the twist?
The kids in the inner city made up a movement to Hank Ballard's song, The Twist, because Hank was not a good dancer. But the song was a hit for a few minutes, and the kids made up something to it, and the disc jockey stopped playing The Twist by Hank Ballard. They just stopped playing it.
Yeah.
And no one was ever going to hear the song. No one was going to ever see the little dance, and there was a window of opportunity for us there. I said, why don't we go out and do it? Well, the record company says, we don't think the songs will be a hit. Let's make it the B side. We're not going to make it the A side. And a disc jockey in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania named Porky Chadwick says, listen, I'm going to turn this song over because I know Chubby Checker, and he came and did one of my record hops, and that song was a hit with all the kids. I'm turning that song over. And the minute he played the twist, the phone started ringing, and the rest was history. Yeah,
now it is known as the #1 record of all time, The Twist. Pretty awesome.
It's amazing.
Hey, can you this was a time, though, where first of all, radio was new. Rock and roll was new. We were really charting a new course here. You guys were pioneers at this time, but more so, you were a pioneer for a black movement. I mean, white teenagers were listening and buying black music. That was big.
Well, it was that way with the twist with Hank Ballard, but everybody thought Chubby Checker was a white boy. And I had a huge white audience of people that thought Chubby Checker was a white kid, and Chubby Checker had that look about him, a very kind of mixed person, and he had that persona, and he had that electricity, and all of a sudden, I was the leader of a white generation doing the twist, and it all became amazing, and the black kid says, "Hey, Chub, he says the white kids love you." I said, "Well, what am I going to do about that? Let's just go out and make everybody happy."
Yeah.
And that's how it all turned out.
Wow. And you still have the electricity, Chubby.
I enjoy so much going out performing. It is, when I was 4 years old, my mom took me to the Georgetown County Fair, and I saw Ernest Tubb singing on stage. And it is it electrified me from 4 years old until I walked on stage and sung the class in the 11th grade. All I could think about is being on stage singing. I'm really living my dream.
Yeah.
I'm living my dreams. Very few people get a chance to do that. But at an elevation like this, where the Twist is the #1 song, I have no even idea of something like that. I'm living in my dream.
Well, and the beauty is how it's. I don't know if you checked it, but it's 2016. This dream has been going on for a long time. Might be a little more than a dream after all. Andrew, go ahead.
So, Chubby, it's interesting that you talk about how a lot of people thought that Chubby Checker was a white kid, because if I recall correctly, you remember the educational series Schoolhouse Rock? They, in the cartoon form, I believe, had Chubby Checker portrayed as a white person. Is that correct?
Well, people, that happens. People make that mistake, but it's okay. It's all right. I'm one of the boys, and I just go out and do what I do.
Are you telling me that they portrayed Chubby Checker as white?
If you look at, I forget which song it is, but they reference Chubby Checker doing the twist, and it's clearly a white guy.
Wow.
That happens sometimes. But a lot of people say, I thought he was a white guy. Back in the day, when I played in Mississippi and played in Alabama, I said, Chubby, I thought you was a white boy. and that guy named Jay from the Jay and the Techniques, Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie.
Yeah.
Well, we got an award in Allentown, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, about a year and a half or 2 years ago. And I was on stage talking, and I met Jay from the Techniques. And I says, Jay, is that you? He says, yes. I said, Jay, I thought you was a white guy. Because some of us guys have that vibe, and I said it to everybody. I said, I thought you were. I said, Jay, well, I know you're not now. I said, but I sure thought you were. But I love that song, Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie.
Well, you know what? Music transforms. You're listening to it. You're not looking and thinking race. You're thinking, I like this song and I like this dance. And
well, I can tell you right now, mostly all the white kids sound black. Right. When I listen to pop radio, and I hear Justin Bieber and a few other guys say, "Well, you sound like a black guy,"
Yeah. I do want to talk. I cannot let you go without talking about the fact that you were at Muhammad Ali's funeral and you were close with Muhammad Ali.
I was very close to him. We met when we were 19 years old. I was playing at a show in Louisville, Kentucky, and Rudy. At that time, his name was Cassius Clay, and he came to see me with his brother Rudy, and he's a huge Chubby Checker fan, and he says, "Listen, I came to see your show," and I said, "Well, thank you," and everything. I said, "I saw you at the Golden Gloves. I said, you're wonderful." I says, "You should be in the movies." He says, "No, I'm a fighter." So I said, "So what can I do for you that I've been honored with your presence, sir?" We're just joking with each other. He says, "I'm going to be champion, and I need some advice." I says, "Advice from me?" "Well, I want you. Maybe you can give me some pointers and everything." I says, "Well, tell me something, Cassius. How good are you?" He said, "I'm the best." I said, "How good are you? How good are you?" He said, "I'm the best." I said, "Well, if you're so good, you name your rounds." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "So let's just say you say, if this fight goes more than 4 rounds, I'm going to go home. Can you do that?" I said, "First of all, you're good looking. No one's going to pay too much attention to you. You're going to have to run your mouth. You're going to have to make up things. You're going to have to say things to make people come and see you fight." I said, "They might like it, they might not like it, but you got to be outstanding if you really want to get there."
Yeah.
And guess what he said? He said, "I'm going to try that." The next thing I know, his mouth started running and never stopped. But do you know something? All of our lives, he would show up at a lot of my shows, and when he lost his license and he got his license back, he jogged from South Miami to North Miami to see me. Not my show. He just came to my hotel, knocked on the door. I didn't know. The door opened, and there he was.
Wow.
And I says, "Ali, what's going on?" He said, "I got my license back." I said, "Sit down. I want to ask you something." because it was the same kind of conversation we had in Louisville several years before. I said, did you sell your soul to get your license to box? He said, what do you mean? I said, did you do something? Did you give away something that money can't buy so that you can box? He says, no, I never do something like that. That's what I just want to know that. I said, well, I think you're going to be okay. But we've been friends, real close all of our lives. And it's been wonderful knowing him. And I saw him about 6 months ago. He wasn't doing too well. But it's been a wonderful relationship. And I met a lot of people that I wouldn't have met at his funeral if I didn't know him. It was very heartwarming.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you didn't realize how important he was, and also what kind of money and potential he gave up by standing up for, at that time, what he believed in was very controversial.
It was the right time, the right place to make the right decision.
Yeah.
It couldn't happen today. It was the right time, and he was the right person for this to happen to. It wouldn't have happened to anyone else. He had it all going on at one time. It was the right time in history for all of this to take place. It couldn't take place today, but today back then it was the right time. We all love him and we all honor him, and I'm a person that knows his personal struggles, and so I'm very close to him, and I can feel the pain that he felt because we were such close friends.
Listen, Chubby Checker, I want to give you a chance to win a contest here on our show. Radio, does contests, and we're going to give you a chance to have dinner for two with us if you can answer this question, and we're buying. But you got to answer this question. Are you ready?
Okay.
Who was the first artist to ever perform the Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh, that's very easy. I know I'm going to get a dinner.
You think you're going to get that one right?
The first TV halftime show.
Yeah, Chubby Checker.
Chubby Checker.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know something? Wow. Little did we know back then, at that first time that we sung at the Super Bowl game, that song, think about that, the first halftime on TV, that song was going to be the #1 song of all time. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's incredible. And it really is the lasting the power that this song has had, and how it just skips through generations is really amazing. And to have you coming to the Turning Stone is awesome. I want to tell everybody when that's going to be. It's June 24th, and it's at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino, 361.
We're coming to town.
Show. Yeah.
We're going to burn it down and go home.
Okay, that's what you're going to do. That's what that's what artists do. That's how you make it happen.
I don't know about other artists, but I have a very strong fire, and we've been burning for many years. All we love to do is to play that show and just make it hot and go home. It's really great.
All right. Well, listen, we're looking forward to seeing you here. Again, it's June 24th. For tickets, 361-SHOW. Chubby Checker, it has been a great pleasure.
Thank you, guys.
I really
I love you. Thank you.
Appreciate you calling in this morning. Thanks so much.
All right, bye.
All right. We'll break. WIBX Utica, Rome 805. Christine with news coming up next.